And we're live. Welcome back for another stream. It is the final stream of the season. It's Gameweek 38. And there's one more round of fixtures before our ranks are locked in, before the doors are closed for the summer. How are we all feeling today? Are we looking forward to the break? Are we going to miss FPL? I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for being here for this stream. Tag me in a photo on Twitter, wherever you're watching from around the world, and I'll retweet it as soon as the stream finishes. So welcome to the stream, everyone. We've got over 400 tuned in already. We've got Will Ennie in the chat. Good to see Will. We've got Hopak1234, Robski, Bill, Alpa, FPL River, Peter, Kelvin, Atala, Indescribable, Dante, Tim. How are we doing, Tim? Really looking forward to this last stream of the season. I think I'm going to miss it, even though it's been a roller coaster season. I think I will miss FPL once it's finished. But the good news is that I'm sure it won't be too long until the doors reopen ahead of next season starting. And before we know it, we'll be tinkering again for our Game Week 1 teams. But before then, we do have one more game week and just under 90 minutes till the deadline. Tyler Woods has got his GCSEs tomorrow, but he's here anyway. Appreciate the effort, Tyler. But once that deadline passes, and perhaps once the game's passed, don't forget to crack on with some studying. Maybe in that gap between the deadline and the lineups coming out, squeezing half an hour. Joker, thanks so much for the donation. Appreciate that. There was no message, but appreciate that one. And likewise, Domster for renewing the membership. Domster says, Madison captain or Son, you're 18 points off the top 100k. So I'm in a similar predicament. I'm 11 points off top 10k. So I'm going with Kane captain. It is a risky one and it could backfire, but I feel like I may as well just have a bit of fun in the last game week, take a punt on a differential captain. Madison, I think, is reasonable. A bit of a risky one, I would say, but not the worst shout. I don't know who else you've got, Dom, off the top of my head. But I think Madison's a good pick. And I mean, it's quite a lot of ground that you've got to make up there. So I think you're going to need a pick like Madison to come off for any hope, realistically. But yeah, it's an exciting last game week. And if you are chasing a rank or a mini league, then why not take a punt elsewhere? And that's what I'm doing. Like I say, it could go horribly wrong. And after the stream finishes today, I'm going to the FPL meetup in London, where there's going to be about 70 other FPL managers, lots of YouTubers all going there. FPL Mate, FPL Harry, Fergie from Fantasy Football Hub, Richard Clark, loads of people going, so it's going to be great. But it could be a tough one if Son does well. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome, Steps. How you doing, mate? Lowe's prepared for this one. We'll have a look at the what we know so far in terms of leaks, rumours, confirmed news. We'll have a look at the Kings of the Game Week for this season, the scout selection, the race to number 1, because it's still very, very close at number 1. We'll have a look at clean sheet odds, salary replacements, predicted points, captain poll, and lots more. So Lowe's prepared for this one. And as I say, it's a longer stream today, 90 minutes to see in the deadline. Atala says, Diaz for Saka. I don't think I'd sell Saka. Word on the street is that Everton are going to rotate heavily, and it would make perfect sense considering that they've got... Just realised I'm off screen a bit. Let me move over here a bit. There we go. It would make a lot of sense if Everton were to rotate, because they do have it wrapped up now in terms of avoiding relegation. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Richarlison misses out, and he is one of my transfers out as planned currently, unless we get any further leaks or news before the deadline. John says, we made it to Gameweek 38, you bang us, congratulations. Yeah, congratulations everyone. I hope you've all had a great season and enjoyed it. One last round of fixtures and then that's it. Our ranks are locked in forever. Soham says, Son or KDB captain? So I think Son's the best captain this week. But it depends on what your season goals are, if you're chasing or if you're looking to protect rank. I wouldn't bet against Son unless you were chasing rank or a mini league, because he is going to be the most popular pick, if that makes sense. So, you know, if I was happy where I was, I would be captain in Son, not KDB, definitely. Joseph says, will Vardy play? I imagine he will. Yeah, I'll be very surprised if he misses the last game of the season. We'll be checking throughout this stream for any leaks and early news and whatnot in case we get much. We do have some bits and bobs already, which we'll get to in a second. But perhaps we'll get some Leicester news from Sam Martin, who's usually reliable for that. Oh, yeah, I think Vardy's an excellent pick, I have to say. I did look at him. So my two options this week are Coutinho and Richarlison to Mount and Tony. Or, if I really wanted to go differential, I could do Coutinho to Mbeumo and Richarlison to Vardy. Those are the two options. But as it stands, I'm going to go for the former option, which is Mount and Tony. Quite like the look of that fixture for Brentford at home against Leeds. Quite a few questions about the Chelsea lineup. I do think it's going to be so hard to predict that Chelsea lineup because similar to Everton, they've wrapped up their season. Third is locked in for Chelsea. They can't do any better. But on top of that, they've got a lot of players leaving this summer. Rudiger's leaving. Alonso could be. Azpilicueta could be. They've got players like Kennedy and Saul. Kennedy got recalled from loan and then was never used, so I won't be surprised if he gets an appearance or a cameo. And likewise, other fringe players, Barkley, maybe some academy players get minutes, so it's so hard to call the Chelsea lineup. I've just got James. I did look at Alonso, but I think it's going to be too risky on a -4 heading into the last week. Arjan says, hey, how's Havertz as a choice? I think he's a good pick, but again, it's so hard to predict the Chelsea lineup. If Havertz starts, I think he could haul. I think it'd be a very good game week for whichever attackers start for Chelsea. Hopefully Mount, he's my planned transfer in. Pranay says, why is everyone selling Salah? Well, the reason is obviously he picked up the injury, and it's unclear if he even starts or not. Klopp was indecisive in his press conference as to whether Salah starts or not this game week, so I think based on that uncertainty, it's just an obvious move to sell him and get a player like Son or KDB, who both are obviously affordable because they're cheaper than Salah. So that's the reason. Don't get me wrong, if Salah starts, he is one of the most highest upside differentials of the game week, of the season either. I mean, it's Mo Salah, he's the top scoring player in the game. Paul says, KDB to Mane for free. I already have Kane and Son captain. I don't think I'd make that move. I think that's very sideways, if I'm honest. I don't think I would sell KDB to get Mane. Arguably, it's a downgrade, right? You know, if Liverpool have that game wrapped up, you wouldn't be at all surprised if Klopp makes some changes, like bringing off Mane or an attacker ahead of the Champions League final. Basically, he just wants to get some momentum into the Liverpool players, and that's why I think it's going to be a strong lineup, because the Champions League final is 6 days after. But if the game's wrapped up, I could easily see players like Mane, Diaz coming off early if they start. So I don't think I would sell KDB. Matt, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Bowen or Maddison for Coutinho? I would say Maddison between those two. Bowen's a good pick. Will N.E. Maddison or Luis Diaz in? Again, I think Maddison. I do think there's going to be quite a few goals in that Liverpool game, but it's very hard to predict how Liverpool line up. I imagine Diaz starts, maybe comes off early, but Maddison's been absolutely smashing it, and you know, he looks good for 90 minutes and in better form. So I would say Maddison. 11 goals, 10 assists. He's had a phenomenal season, 21 goal contributions. So I'd say Maddison. I think the best three Coutinho replacements in order are Mount, Maddison, and probably Bowen. Chewy FPL says, buy Welbeck or Tony for a punt. Between those two, it's Tony for me, definitely Tony. Global Orderism says, KDB or Trent captain, chase him. Are you chasing rank or mini league? When you're chasing mini league, obviously it's totally dependent on who the managers above you don't own. Perhaps they don't own either, or perhaps you're chasing rank, but I would say KDB between those. But you're definitely on the right tracks in terms of captaincy elsewhere. Rupanjan, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'd say KDB, but I love the Trent pick as well. I did look at Trent. Over the last 6 game weeks, Wolves are second worst in the league for expected goals, but also expected goals conceded. So wouldn't at all surprise me if Liverpool keep a clean sheet in this one, but also I think there'll be goals for Liverpool based on the recent form of Wolves. So yeah, Trent's a good pick as well, but I think I'd go KDB over him for captaincy as a differential captain. H-Bomb says, on top of the mini league by 6 points, but just outside the top 25k by 15, Son or Kane captain. If you really want to get inside the top 25k, then I think Kane is a required bet elsewhere. I mean, you could say punt, but punt's probably not the right word because it's not even a punt. Kane's a very, very good option. Maybe gamble's a better word because you're gambling against Son, and I think you need a gamble like that to make up 15 points. So I'd say Kane. That's my plan. Zachary says, no missing the deadline this time. Got my phone in the bathroom with me. Nice one, Zach. Got the phone in the bathroom. All right. I want honest answers here. Has anyone ever watched one of my streams while you're in the bath? Someone said that the other day and it made me laugh. Sometimes I watch football in the bath. Because I play football every Wednesday and sometimes I'll get in the Champions Leagues on. So I only have time for like the last half an hour. So sometimes I'll just stick the laptop at the end of the bath and I hope it doesn't fall in. Joker says, Kane, Diaz and Mount, or Vardy, Main and Mount. Kane, Diaz, Mount, Vardy, Mane, Mount. I would say the first option. I think I like Maddison slightly more than Diaz, but yeah, it's a very, very good trio. I would go with the first one, Kane, Diaz, Mount. Makes more sense to me. It's Kane against Norwich. Very, very, very good fixture I should finish the season on. Mickey says, I'm in the bath right now. Appreciate the honesty. Hopak says, absolutely, while pooping. This is hilarious. Danny says, for sure, mate. Prane says, I'm watching it from the loo as I type this. Boris says, not in the bath, but on the toilet. Yes, appreciate that. To be fair, my videos are always pretty short. I've never made a video over 10 minutes, so perfect content for when you're having a morning poop. This stream's gone on a tangent already. Let's do a news roundup because we haven't covered that yet. Got a bit carried away chatting. We'll start with Man United. Ronaldo is out of Man United's match this game week due to a hip flexor issue. I think at this point he's not very highly owned, but shame for Ronaldo to miss the last game of the season. I'm sure he's absolutely gutted about that one. Some Tottenham news. There were rumours that Harry Kane picked up an illness. And Conte's been handed a major boost because we understand that he trained on Saturday and he is available for this game. And just further to that, team news and ticks, some of you probably know him, he's quite reliable for leaks and so on. He said all the guys who reported as ill for Tottenham have travelled, and he thinks Romero is the only one that hasn't travelled. So sounds promising for those that were worried about Kane and his potential illness. Another rumour, and this one is just a rumour, this is Everton on Twitter, not the official Everton. He says, I have on good authority, Everton are just going to play the kids versus Arsenal today. So Pickford, Richarlison, Godfrey and Allen all not travelling. Again, take this one with a pinch of salt. May not be true, but I am planning to sell Richarlison. He was spotted with ice on his leg. Rumours below here that he refused to have a scan 6 weeks ago and he's been taking injections to play. So I think if you have Richarlison, it's worth considering selling him, especially considering they have done their job and they've avoided relegation. Another rumour, Tuchel said he's going to play players against Watford who haven't played much lately, so that probably means Saul, Barkley, Sarr, etc. So yeah, like we were saying earlier, there could be lots of rotation in that Chelsea squad today. Hard to say who gets rotated because there's so many factors at play here. Like we said earlier, they've got third wrapped up, they've got fringe players that deserve a start, and they've got players leaving that deserve a farewell, so it's a hard one to call. And your Premier League player of the season is De Bruyne. How do you all feel about this? Do you think De Bruyne deserves it, or do you feel someone else deserved it more? Perhaps Salah or Son. But it was KDB, player of the season. Pablo21k says, start Dewsbury Hall or Mateta. Mateta's a rotation risk, but I trust Palace. He will be hyped up at home. Dewsbury Hall often not nailed and often blanked, but great fixture. Mateta all day for me. You have to start the attacker. We might get some Palace leaks. We'll have to see. If I get anything, I'll certainly let you know on this stream. And I'll stick a tweet up as well. But I would favour the attacker there. In fact, let's see if we do have anything yet. Nothing yet. Thank you everyone that has tuned in so far. We've got 1,243. If you are enjoying the stream, please do hit like and subscribe to the channel. Once the game week's over, it's not over in terms of content on this channel. I've got some original ideas I'm going to work on once the season's over, so hit subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Jason says KDB, Richarlison out for Foden and Kane, triple captain. I'm not keen on the idea of selling KDB, to be honest. I think Kane's a great pick, but I'm just not sure if selling KDB is the answer there. I fully agree with selling Richarlison, but I don't agree with getting rid of KDB. Feels like that one could massively backfire. I've got Richarlison and I'm going to get rid of him, and I'm looking at Tony. Nero reckons that KDB was the right choice. Pep2 says Bowen deserved it. Lendo says Salah. IB Unreal also thinks Salah should have got player of the season. Alpha says Salah robbed. A lot of people say Salah deserved it. Maybe some recency bias, because obviously it was or has been a phenomenal season for Salah. The second half of it, not as good as the first half, obviously. Never really got into his stride again after AFCON, but he's the top scorer in the league. They don't look at FPL points with these awards, but he's still the top scoring player, despite slowing down. So yeah, perhaps you can make the case for Salah. But I suppose it's also not all numbers, it's not all goals and assists, and perhaps you could argue KDB helped City win the league. Played a huge part. I say that like they've won it, they certainly haven't. What do we think is going to happen today? Do you think Villa could cause an upset? Or do you think it's City's title? Imagine the scenes. It just seems so scripted for Aston Villa. Gerrard at the helm. Coutinho. Imagine Coutinho gets like a late goal. Liverpool leapfrog them and win the title. Yeah, really excited for today. It's going to be a good day. Luke says Vardy or Robertson? I think Vardy. He's got the higher upside. I would chase the upside there. Barnes or Kulusevski? Barnes. Vardy or Tony? Vardy. Salah to Diaz. If I was getting rid of Salah, I would get a premium mid like Son or KDB. Diaz is a good pick, but I don't think I would. I think I'll do that move. Abadi says, hi Focal, DM'd on Twitter the potential City lineup from Telegram. Let's have a look. Is this just a predicted lineup? I'll pull it up on the screen and then we'll get everyone's thoughts on it anyway. It looks about what I would have imagined it to look like, I'll be honest. Hopefully you can see it okay. Edison, Walker, Stones, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Bernardo, De Bruyne, Grealish. Interesting. Foden and Mahrez. So Sterling misses out. But I assume that this is just a predicted lineup or a rumoured lineup. I guess someone's just guessing here how it could look. But yeah, it's about what I expected. I imagine Walker comes back into the starting 11. Stones is back. Cancelo left back. Makes perfect sense to me, but we'll have to see. Right, where do we get to? Yeah, thanks for sending that, Abadi. Dimitri says, current James, Wyatt, Robbo, Mikolenko, Cash, Son, Saka, Zaha, Coutinho, Ramsey, Kane, Richarlison and Vegas, protecting rank in the mini league, Coutinho and Cash to mount a Sessegnon, or Coutinho and Richarlison to mount and Tony. I would do the latter move. I think Mount a Sessegnon's a good move too. You're definitely making the right decision to look at Mount. Unused substitution last game, playing Watford home today. Makes perfect sense to me to get Mount. So yeah, it's between Sessegnon and Tony, and in that situation I would favour the attacker with more upside. You know, Sessegnon probably fairly likely to keep a clean sheet, has a chance of getting an assist or something like that, but Tony, you know, he's got goals, assist potential, so I would favour the attacker and do that. Thanks for that donation, appreciate the generosity. True Fatandela says, hi Focal, good luck. If 250k, I'm 250k and unhappy about it. Diaz or Mount or Foden, and then 2, Kane captain or Vardy captain. Vardy. I would go for Mount between those three, and I would go captain Kane. I think Son's going to be by far the most popular captain, so I think Vardy's a big punt. I think I like Kane more. I don't think you need to go all out. You know, Kane already is a differential against Son as it is, so I would go for Kane there. Hopak says Salah to KDB or Salah to Maddison and Pookie to Kane. I like the second move more. I would do Salah to Maddison and Pookie to Kane. Good combination of moves that. Yeah, I prefer that because you don't want to be starting Pookie, and I'm not sure who else you've got in your team to play instead, but yeah, I'll do the latter move, Maddison and Kane. Playing Nketiah or Kulu, that's a really tough one. I would start Kulu. Kulusevski or Vardy? Vardy. Is Pookie to Tony reasonable? Yeah, definitely. Definitely a reasonable move. Is the music a good volume or is it too loud? Let me know if it's too loud. It sounds slightly loud to me, but it might just be my headset. On Gear says, sorry for the long question. Cash, James, Digne, Trent, Cancelo, Saka, Son, Dewsbury, Coutinho, Diaz, Kane and Broja. I'm 60 points off top 100k. 60? Okay, I need to totally go for it. I was thinking about up to a -12. Should I remove Kane or Son? I'll be totally honest. 60 points is next to impossible to make up at this point. You'd need an entire team of differentials and you'd need the popular picks to blank. Plus you're looking at -12, so you're 72 points off. But I don't hate the idea of a late season punt. That's what I'm doing with Kane captain. I don't think you'll be able to make up the 60 points, but yeah, I'd certainly give it everything you've got. Cash and Coutinho are problems, I would say there. You haven't got Mount, so you could go Coutinho to Mount if you can afford it. Or if not, Maddison's a good pick. And then I would take a -4 if you've only got one transfer and get rid of Cash. Maybe someone like Sessegnon. Depends who you can afford there. Maybe Matip. That's what I would do. -12 is very bold. I'm not sure if you need it. Maybe you could add in an extra hit to do Broja to Nketiah, something like that. Right, let's have a quick skim around, see if there's any leaks or early news or anything fresh that we have missed. Salah on the bench. I think this one came from Andy. Yeah, Let's Talk FPL says Salah bench, so there we go. If you have Salah, it's what we've been saying all along. He's an absolute sell. I did in fact prepare a graphic for potential Salah replacements, so let's take a look at that. These are the predicted points from FPL Review, and these are midfielders only, so basically the top Salah replacements if you're in a position where you own Salah. So Son is obviously the stand-up pick. If you don't have Son, then Salah to Son is a move that just makes itself. But if you want to look elsewhere, I think Mane's a good pick. Now we know that Salah's benched as well. You would say Mane surely starts beyond doubt now. De Bruyne's a good pick as well. I love the Mount pick. Mount does free up a lot of money that can allow you to do some creative moves. Like we've seen in chat today, you could do Salah to Mount and then a forward like Pookie, you know, or Ings, Watkins up to Kane, that sort of thing. Mane or Kane protecting rank. Kane for me. Hopak says more like Salah. Bowen or Maddison. Callum Wilson or Harvey Barnes. Would you... Pinky says, who would you captain to maximise points in a mini league? The person above and below had Son, which I can't get. It's between Kane, Mount, Bowen and Tony. Between those, it has to be Kane. So these are the Salah replacements, i.e. the top predictions as far as midfielders go, but these are the predictions as far as all positions go. And Kane is second with 7.1 predicted points for this game against Norwich today on the road, so I would say Kane absolutely would be where I'd go if you can't get to Son. Carlos Mick says, chasing 15 points. The difference among rival teams is his Salah, Saka, Matip versus my KDB, Richarlison and Alonso. Both have Son. What move would you make to cover the gap? So he's got Salah, so he's going to have to sell Salah. The problem is he has the option to go Salah to KDB just to cover you. Richarlison I would get rid of. I would sell him probably for Tony. I think Richarlison to Tony makes a lot of sense. Hard to say about knowing the rest of your team, but I would do Richarlison to Tony. That's what I would do there. So this is how I'm lining up. For anyone that missed it, I've got a couple of problems here. I'm going to be selling Coutinho. His replacement will be Mount, and I'm going to make a second move, which will be Richarlison to Tony. It will be a -4, which I'm not a massive fan of, because obviously with Gameweek 38 -4s, you've only got that game week for it to be repaid. So it's not ideal, but I think it's a necessary hit. I don't really want to start Gordon or Cash. And I'd like to cover myself just in case of any unexpected benchings or whatnot, which hopefully doesn't happen. Elliot says Richarlison's Tony or Welbeck or Mikalenko to Sessegnon. I'm 4k, trying to keep top 5k. Also, he promised first place of a mini league a Doritos bag. Alright, deal. Whoever comes first in the mini league can have a Doritos bag. But I think you're probably way off if you're 5k. I think top in our mini leagues, like top 50 or thereabouts, top 10. I would do Richarlison to Tony, mate. That's what I would do there. Chase the upside. I think Tony's a more upside pick than Sessegnon, so that's what I would do. Jack says current team is Dubravka, Trent, Robbo, Alonso, Davies, Shah, Salah, Saka, KDB, Mount, Gordon, Richarlison, Pookie, Broja. Thinking Salah to Son and Gordon to Maddison for a -4. Who's up top? Yeah, I would do those exact moves. Salah to Son is the move that makes itself, and then Gordon to Maddison's another good move. But the forwards are a problem. Maybe you could do Richarlison to Tony instead. That's the other option you could consider. I think Maddison just edges it. Gordon to Maddison. I think I would make the same move. You've already got Mount. I think he's an even better pick, but you've got him. So your team looks pretty good, to be honest. Mikael says Cash, Coutinho, Watkins to Simicast on the bench. Ericsson and Kane from -8. 12-point lead in the mini league, and he's got Kane. So I'll definitely get rid of Cash and Coutinho. I've got them both myself, but Richarlison's even more of a problem for me. I actually quite like the Ericsson pick. I think he's flying somewhat under the radar. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he does well this week. I quite like that fixture, Brentford at home against Leeds. It's not great though when you bring in a player like Simicast as part of a hit and benching them. I'll be honest. It's I'd say it's not an optimal set of moves. But I don't know the rest of your midfield. You could do Coutinho to Mount or Maddison. Those are the two best Coutinho replacements in my opinion. Cash replacements, it depends how much extra you'd have in the bank. I would say Sessegnon and Matip for around the same price would be my recommendations. I don't think I would take a -8. You kind of have wiped away 8 of that 12-point lead in one go. But I do think you require a -4. Tricky one, that. I mean, they're all problems. It just depends. If you are forced to start all three, then I can understand the moves. But I assume you wouldn't even captain Kane, so I'm not sure if that -8 gets repaid. Ongear says, oh, I did that one, sorry. Russell, thanks for donation. He says, A, Mahrez to Diaz, B, Cash to Alonso, or C, both from -4. If B or C, in case he becomes first sub on a 5-4-1, I'm not sure if I'd get rid of Mahrez. I'd be very tempted to just keep hold and give him this final week. It's a tricky one because Diaz is a very strong pick as well. Ramsdale, Trent, Robertson, Cancelo, Davies, Son, Mahrez, Zaha, Saka, Kane, and Ketia. Pickford, Cash, Richarlison, KDH on the bench, not KDB. I definitely would make option B. I think Alonso is a bit of a risk, so I'm not sure if he's worth the risk in Gameweek 38. So I would do option A between those three. Yeah, option A, and I would give Nketiah the start. Zayab says, who's the bench out of Laporte, Saka and James? Oh, that's horrendous. I think Laporte. Has to be Laporte out of those three. Thank you everyone that has tuned in so far. I hope you are enjoying the stream. We've got just under an hour away till the deadline, so if you are enjoying the stream, please do hit like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Got lots of content planned for once the season's over, so lots to come on the channel. Matt says, do you think Van Dijk plays? It's hard to say because we just don't know. Klopp hasn't told us much in terms of his availability. If I was to guess, I would say no, he doesn't. Right, we've got a Leicester rumour here. Let's pull this up on screen. From Team News and Ticks, he's told that Leicester are full strength. I asked specifically about Barnes because a lot of people apparently asked him, and Barnes starts, so full strength Leicester side. So yeah, that'll be Maddison, Vardy, etc. Good news for those that have got Leicester assets. And yeah, as I was saying earlier, I fully expected Vardy to start, and it sounds like he does. So I think he's a really good Gameweek 38 punt if you're tempted by that. Right, let's do a quick refresh if there's any news or leaks or anything coming out of Twitter. Keep the questions coming in. I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. Pontus Jansson as a pick for a cheap defender. For a cheap defender, I would go for Sessegnon over Jansson. Foden or Luis Diaz? I would say Luis Diaz. Yeah, Salah's benched. If anyone missed it, Salah's benched today. So get rid of Salah if you've got him. YouTuber says, I've got Schmeichel, Cancelo, Trent Van Dijk, James Son, Luis Diaz, Saka, Mount, De Bruyne, Nketiah. Any suggestions? One free transfer. 0.19 in the bank. You haven't really got any weaknesses in your team, which is a really good thing. I struggled to make any suggestions. You've got Son, which is great. You've got KDB. You know what? It's a really, really good team. Van Dijk is obviously a doubt. I don't know if we've got any news or leaks yet, whether he starts or not today. You could consider a move there. For example, could you afford Van Dijk to Robertson? Something like that, I think would be a nice upside pick. Honestly, it's a really good team, and I don't think you need to make any major moves. You know, when it's hard to suggest a move, it means your team's in generally good shape, and I think Van Dijk to Robertson might be the one there, because it's already a really good start in 11. Zaha or Mount? Mount. So, as far as the Kings of the Game Week are concerned, there's one slot left. Here's how it looks. From the 37 game weeks leading up to this moment right now, who gets the last slot? Game Week 38. Guesses in the chat who you think the final king will be. We do have a channel on the Discord server where you can take a guess who you think the king of the game week will be. And there's an exclusive role available for the winner, big prize. So yeah, guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the last king of the game week for the season? Could it be a Son again? For, I think that'd be the 4th time this season. KDB? Kane? Kane's not made it there yet this season. Mochi reckons it's KDB. Harry reckons it's Kane. Apinator reckons Kane. Harry says Son. Ian Matthews says Vardy. Ethan says Son. Pookie. Oh, if it's Pookie, I'll be loving life because I've got him. Hopak reckons Frank Lampard. Gotta be Melia, says Aya. Trying to remember who I picked in the channel on the Discord now. I think I went with Trent. Jason says Martinez benched. Where have we heard that one from? And for the last time this season, the scout selection, which is as follows, and I'll just read it out for anyone listening on audio only. They've got Raya in goal from Brentford. Back four is Robertson, James, Zinchenko, Sessegnon. Midfield is a very interesting one. They've got KDB captain, Son, vice captain, Diaz and Mount, and then a front two of Vardy and Tony. What do we think of the last scout selection of the season? Is it a good one? Jack Milner says, oh, it's gone off my screen. Says, thank you for the content. Top 14k at the moment, never finished a season. Absolute pleasure, Jack. Happy to have helped you get to that rank, and thanks for watching my content. And anyone else in the chat that has watched my videos and streams this season, thank you so much for that. In fact, just on that subject, I was having a look at my YouTube analytics a couple of days ago, and these numbers are just ridiculous. So this is my first season doing FPL content. I've played FPL for 11 years now, and I only decided to start the channel this season. Initially it was just as a hobby, something to keep me busy. I never in a million years thought that people would care about what I had to say, videos I had to make. So it's been the craziest year of my life, and thanks to these numbers now I do FPL as a full-time job, which is thanks to you guys, and as a result I have more time to work on videos and streams and more and more content, and there's even more to come next season. Some people will know I've already been working on a new series over the last week or two, so thank you so much for that. It means the absolute world to me. Joey says, hey mate, he's got Ramsdale, Trent, Robertson, Laporte, Alonso, Mount, Son, Cooley, Saka, Kane and Nketiah. He's on the bench boost, okay. Replace Mitchell, Weghorst, Gordon or Foster on the bench boost. Can you afford Tony by getting rid of Weghorst? That's what I would do. I think he's the biggest weak point because I imagine he may not even start. Hasn't been starting recently, so he would be where I look to make the move. Get rid of Weghorst. Hopefully I didn't miss any super chats. I'm just going to scroll back up. I think we are about good. S says he's on the bench boost. I've lost it. As soon as it came up, it moved off screen. He says, which two to replace? Cash, Coutinho, and Richarlison. Richarlison or Richardson? Richarlison. I would replace Richarlison and Coutinho. I think those two are the two you could replace with the highest upside replacements. In fact, I'm selling the exact same two, and I'm doing Coutinho to Mount and Richarlison to Tony. C says, took a minus 36 and then activated the wildcard. Okay. Is that going to affect ranking? Do I get a minus 36? No. So if you take hits and then activate your wildcard or your free hit, then those hits get wiped out. So you're absolutely fine there. Some people do that because on a wildcard, you can't influence price changes. So some people take the transfers and then activate the wildcard just before the deadline, which I have to say is a very risky game. I've only ever done it once because I just don't trust myself to, remember that I haven't activated the wildcard. And we've seen a lot of managers before burnt by trying to be clever and then forgetting to activate the wildcard and heading into the game week on a minus 36 like yours. But no, you're absolutely fine if the wildcard's active. Rashav says, I'm at 100k. Who do I captain to get inside? If your team's strong enough, I wouldn't overthink it. You could easily break inside top 100k just by having a well-constructed team. I'd only be looking for bold picks if you're, a fair bit outside, if you've got 10 plus points to make up. So I wouldn't get clever. I would captain Son or Kane. Son's the obvious one this week, certainly. Joseph says, KD bin Richarlison to Kane and Maddison for a -4. We had a very similar question earlier, and my answer was that I don't think it's worth a -4 to sell KDB. I think it's one of those that could backfire horribly. If I had KDB, I wouldn't be getting rid of him for a -4 anyway. I would be doing Richarlison to Tony or something like that instead. Without the -4, you get an extra 4 points and you get to keep KDB. I know that Kane and Maddison could do very well, but I don't know. It's a bold one to be taking a hit to drop KDB when we know what he's capable of. He's got the highest score this season of all players, as we saw in the Kings of the Gameweek. Tim says, hey mate, is it worth to replace Mane for Diaz and then upgrade Watkins to Kane for a -4? I don't think it is. I don't think it's worth a -4. It's a similar situation to the last question from José, and I don't think it's worth a -4. I don't think I'd take a -4 to sell a player with so much upside. Again, I know KDB is a very good pick, but I don't think I would take that -4 unless I was chasing. I would only consider that if I was really chasing a mini league or rank. Otherwise, I don't think that's worth it. Sahil says Coutinho to Diaz or someone else, or Pukki to Tony for a -4. Or should I prioritise getting James out? Definitely wouldn't get rid of James. Coutinho to Diaz I like. As far as Coutinho replacements, I think the best one's Mount, and then I think Maddison, and then I think it's between Diaz and Bowen. That's the order that I would look at if I was replacing Coutinho. I wouldn't do a -4 Pukki to Tony instead of getting rid of Coutinho. Certainly not. Mo Omar says Salah and Weghorst to Kane and Richarlison, or Vardy and Luis Diaz. Yeah, the first move. First move is a very, very good pair of moves. Salah is benched today, if anyone missed it. Weghorst, I would not be at all surprised if he's benched again as well. So you're getting rid of two massive problems in your team and replacing them with two very high upside picks. Yeah, we definitely got it right there with the Kane and Maddison. That's where I would go as well. Yeah, Jason asked the same question. Thanks for the donation, Stephen. There was no message with that, but thank you for that, Stephen, very, very much. Appreciate that. If we can pause for a second on the Super Chats, I'm going to do a quick check if there's any further leaks and that sort of thing. Let's see. We'll start with Palace, see if there's anything from the Palace source. Nothing yet. Interesting. This is not good news for Liverpool's title hopes. Emilio Martinez is resting tonight for the Man City game due to a small physical condition. No Martinez. I forget who Villa's backup keeper is. Let me know in the chat. But yeah, not good news for Aston Villa. Great news for Man City for that game today. Bad news for Liverpool. It's going to be a big miss, Martinez. It's going to need a miracle, I feel, for Villa to get a result there, but we'll have to see. But no Martinez in goal. I don't think there's anyone from an FPL perspective who had Martinez and was looking to play him. So Tenny says, I can afford one Man City attacker under 9 mil. Who do you reckon has the biggest chance of a haul between Mahrez, Foden, Bernardo and Grealish? Mahrez always has the biggest potential of a haul, but I'd say he's a slightly riskier pick in terms of his chances of starting. So I'd say Foden, because he's likeliest to start, but Mahrez has the biggest haul potential, if that makes sense. So if you're just purely chasing the highest upside, it has to be Mahrez. Mahrez is one of those that if you knew he was starting, he'd be straight in your team. You know, I'd be looking at a way to squeeze Mahrez in for Coutinho rather than Mount if I knew Mahrez was starting, but he's such a massive minutes risk. Jason, thank you for becoming an fplfocal member as well. Appreciate that very much. If you need a hand setting up the perks for that, drop me a DM on Discord and I'll give you a hand with that. Kulisevsky to Kane for a -4. Thoughts, says Fizzer. I don't think it's worth a -4. Josh says, good day, sir. Good day, Josh. Oh, it's Olsen. Olsen's their backup keeper. Okay. He was at Everton, wasn't he? Is that the same guy? I think he's been at a couple of Premier League clubs. Jed Steer, I think he's on loan, or maybe he's third choice. So, the race for number 1 in the world is going to go right down to the wire. This is how it looks as it stands. Jamie Piggott's number 1 in the world, 2,772 points. Suvanch is only a point behind on 2,771. Bino Baby trails by 9 points. They've all used their chips up. Who do we reckon wins it? Jamie Pigger is flying the flag for FPL USA. Savanch for FPL India. Do you think it's going to be one of those two, or do you think someone further down below could nick it right at the end with a punt? I was chatting to Jamie yesterday just to see if he wanted to do a video together, and he was saying that he's a very, very superstitious guy, and which is fair enough, and he didn't want to be influenced. So he said if he wins it, we'll definitely do a video together. So let's hope Jamie can do it. We'll be rooting for him, and then if he does go on and win it, we'll no doubt do a video together. But I asked this yesterday as well. Do any of you guys have superstitions when it comes to football or FPL? Any routines you do on match day? Or are superstitions a load of nonsense? Lukash reckons Savanch goes on to win it. It's going to be very interesting to see how they line up, whether they overthink it at all, or whether they just play sensible and trust the rest of their team. I believe Bino Baby, who's in third, has Salah, so he'll be getting rid of Salah. I wonder who for though. Right, I'll do another quick check of any news and leaks and whatnot. So maybe I should keep note of what we've learnt so far. Let me write stuff down. So, my understanding so far, Leicester are expected to be full strength today. So Barnes starts, Maddison, Vardy, etc. Salah is benched. No Salah in the starting 11 today for Liverpool. If you've got Salah, get rid. Martinez is benched for Aston Villa. Pretty irrelevant one that as far as FPL goes. Everton rumoured to be rotating a lot today. Richarlison potentially not even in the squad, so I think he's an easy sell as well. That's everything that comes off the top of my head now, but I'll have another look shortly. If anyone's not in the fplfocal Discord, I'm going to chuck a link in chat, because today's going to be absolutely wild in the Discord during the games, when all 10 games are on at the same time. That's the link. If you're not in the Discord, go hit that link and join now. It's a genuinely good FPL resource. Oh, there's my computer froze. Right, there we go. Yeah, we've got things like the price changes, we've got the lineups, we've got the live scores, we've got bonus points, live points, Gameweek stats, injury updates, top 10k stats, insider trading. Insider trading is one of my favourites. This one basically shows you the transfers that Premier League players and staff make from the clubs they represent. There's news and loads more. So yeah, we've got the live match channel, which is going to be particularly wild today. That's the link if you want to go join there. Simon Host says, hi Oscar, Zaha to Barnes or Maddison on the bench? Thanks. I prefer Maddison over Barnes, but they're both very good picks. My understanding is both of them start today, so you can't really go wrong. But I like Maddison slightly more. Mickey says Southampton are losing 9-0 today. Do you reckon? And again, for the third time. Ellis says, brilliant tips this year. Thank you, Focal. Any updates on the Leicester lineup? Want to bring in Maddison for Coutinho. Have a great game week, dude. Yeah, so my understanding is that Leicester are at full strength today. Let's see if I can find the tweet. This was from Team News and Ticks. He says he's told that Leicester are full strength, and he asked specifically about Barnes. And Barnes starts as well, so we know that Barnes starts, Leicester full strength, so you'd imagine the likes of Maddison starts, Vardy starts, Barnes certainly starts, maybe Tielemans is back for this one. So I hope that helps as far as Leicester goes. And I really like the Coutinho to Maddison move. I would definitely make the same move, or Mount if not. Conrad says, would you do Salah to Maddison or Diaz and Broja to Vardy from -4, or Salah to Mane only, captain Son or Vardy? If you're chasing, then Vardy makes more sense because he's got a lot more upside, but it is a gamble to bet against Son. Make no mistake. Big gamble. Salah to Maddison or Diaz. I prefer Maddison over Diaz. Bray to Vardy from -4. Yeah, I'd make that move as well. If you're chasing, I would definitely make that move for the -4. JD says, do you think KDB will play? Definitely. No doubt KDB plays. Edmund says, hi Focal, thanks for the great season content. Richarlison to Welbeck for a -4. Not for a -4, unless you're forced to start Richarlison and you've got no one else that you could start. I do wonder if Richarlison's not even in the squad today, or maybe benched. You know, Everton have done their job. They've wrapped it up. They've avoided relegation. Wouldn't be at all surprised. In fact, on that question just now on KDB, we've just had a tweet a couple of minutes ago. KDB starts. Obviously, with all these leaks and whatnot that we are discussing on this stream, take them with a pinch of salt. But most of them are from reliable sources. So yeah, KDB starts. There's another one to add to the list of what we have learned or what we understand on this stream. So a quick look back at the entire season, and these are the overall points for the season. Salah's top, 259 points. Salah is benched today. Son no doubt starts today. He's got 13 points to make up, and he is the top scoring player if he does it. He's a goal behind Salah in the Golden Boot race as well. Do you think Son does it or not? 13 points to make up. What do you guys think? Salah or Son for the top scoring player in FPL for 21-22 by 6 o'clock today. It's going to be hard for Salah because, as we understand now, he is on the bench, perhaps comes off the bench, might get a goal contribution or two off the bench, but it's certainly in Son's favour. It's a big gap to make up. But, you know, if Son can score twice, get 3 bonus, something like that, then it's certainly doable. Amir says, it's heartbreaking that this is the last stream. It is heartbreaking. Brings a tear to my eye. I'm going to miss doing these. It's been the most unbelievable season of my life. Not just starting the channel from scratch and getting it to where it is now, but also concurrently ending up at #1 in the world for a couple of game weeks is just... How do you put that into words? I've got the screenshot here somewhere. I mean, make no mistake, it's been a depressing second half to the season, but, you know, 10 weeks in the top 2. What more can you ask for, really, besides winning the whole thing? Still got the screenshot. I'll never forget that run. You know, even if I was #1 and had the worst second half to the season ever and finished 100k, I think realistically you'd still take that just to say you're at #1 in the world. Jake says, Salah, Havertz and Pookie to Son, KDB and Kukir. Who's Kukir? Kuka? Not sure who that last player is. From -8. You have to get rid of Salah. You have to get rid of Salah. You have to get Son in, I would say. From -8, it's very, very bold. -8 in the last game week. Salah to Son makes perfect sense. I don't think I would get rid of Havertz for as part of the -8. I think maybe Salah to Son, and then I would just move Pookie on, and I'd leave Havertz out of the equation there. Maybe get someone like Tony. I suppose you can't stretch to Vardy, but that's where I would look. John says, we won't forget those game weeks, Oscar. I certainly won't either. Those 10 weeks bouncing around the top 2. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever have a season quite as good as that again, but we'll see. Or a run quite as good as that again. And I'm told the first ever YouTuber to get to #1 in the world, so that's something as well. History in the making. Joker Man says, why is it the last stream? Because it's Gameweek 38. There's no more Premier League after today, until next season. I think once the doors reopen for next season, we'll certainly do some streams in pre-season, but over the break I've got lots of content planned. So hit subscribe if you're not already, so you don't miss out on that. Sessegnon or Emerson Royale? Sessegnon. Ivan says, what's up, Oscar? You absolute legend. Came in to just say thanks for everything this season. Pleasure. Thanks for watching my content and liking my video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support. I don't take it for granted. It means a lot. Right, I'll do a quick check if there's any leaks or further news, and then we'll run back over everything that we know so far. Let's see, anything there? So, what we know so far, it's expected to be a full-strength Leicester side, so Vardy, Maddison, Barnes starting, Salah's benched, Martinez is benched for Aston Villa. A lot of Everton rotation rumoured. That one's just a rumour, but it wouldn't be at all surprising, as we were saying earlier. Richarlison could miss out completely. KDB starts today. Obviously, there was rumours that Kane had illness, but he's fine. He travels. Nicholas says, any news on Havertz starting? Nothing on Havertz or Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea is one of the hardest ones to predict. In fact, I'd say it's impossible to predict the Chelsea lineup. We could see some academy or fringe players playing today. Perhaps some players that are going to be leaving the club after this season concludes, like Azpilicueta, Rudiger. I'd fully expect them to start. Ronam says, Everton rotating heavily. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. There's rumours that Pickford misses out as well. Adam says, Martinelli to Mount, or Martinelli and Nketiah to Kulu and Tony for a -4. I don't think I would be getting rid of Nketiah. Martinelli is one of those that could backfire if he starts today, but I think the first option is the best one. I don't think I would take a -4. I think I would do the Mount move and leave it at that. Chris said, I did White to James, Digne to Alonso. I'm now reading that they might not start. I was going to captain James, vice-captain Kane, chasing 30 points in the mini-league for £1,000. First place is on a free hit. I own Son and Mount. Thoughts, captain. That's a tricky one. If they're on a free hit, they're certainly in a position of strength there, and that's going to be hard to make up 30 points, to be honest with you. But if you're trying to make up 30 points, it's the sort of captaincy you have to go for. I don't see any way you can make up 30 points without going really bold, and I think James is the perfect example of a bold pick. You know, maybe Alexander-Arnold if you haven't got him. Trent or James captain is the sort of bold pick that I would go for if I was trying to make up 30 points to win a grand. So I wouldn't be discouraged. I think you have to make the pick and just accept if it doesn't come off, then you made the right decision without the power of hindsight to try and chase up that ground, because they're going to go for probably a more obvious pick on their free hit, like Son. So I think you have to bet elsewhere, and James is such an explosive pick. We've seen what he can do. All you need is for him to have a huge game week, like one of these game weeks here. You know, imagine he gets a 21-pointer, scores twice, keeps a clean sheet. It's the sort of thing you have to punt on to make up 30 points. Waka says he's got the triple captain. He's got Dubravka, Alonso, James, Cancelo, Davies, Sterling, Gordon, Odegaard, Son and Bumo, Kane, White, Richarlison and Dennis. Swap Gordon, 8.2 in the bank for who? I would swap Gordon for Mason Mount. I think what you're saying here is Richarlison's on your bench. If that's right, then that looks fine. I would do Gordon probably to Mason Mount. You could consider Maddison or Barnes, but I think I like Mason Mount the most. Josh Panner says he's hearing Richarlison's out. We'll do a quick refresh to see if we've got any news or further leaks, and we'll keep refreshing all the way to the deadline, because there has been lots of information. Oh, this is not what I wanted to read. This one's from Sam Martin. He says, no Alonso or James sneaking about. Again, this one's a rumour, so hard to say. But if you wanted to, whoever asked the question just then about captain and James, maybe this one is enough to deter you to bet elsewhere on the captaincy. Maybe go for someone like Trent, who perhaps still won't be in the manager above's thinking for captaincy. Perhaps look at their team and think who they might not get. I know they're on a free hit, so it's hard to predict, but Perhaps you know what kind of manager they are, who they'll get, who they won't get. Not great if this is true, I have to say, because I've got James. But it's a rumour. It is from Sam Martin, and he's the reliable source for Leicester news. He doesn't really do other clubs, but we'll have to see. I think if you were looking at bringing one of them in and hadn't yet, I think you have to really strongly reconsider whether it's worth bringing them in now based on that. Mikey says, one last question, Alonso or Sessegnon? Sessegnon. Kulu or Sessegnon? Kulu. Foden captain. I don't think I'd captain Foden. The problem is this season he's not really been much of an explosive asset. I think he's only got like 1, maybe 2 double-digit hauls. You know, whereas players like Son has about 10. So that's where I would look for captaincy personally. Just gonna have a quick check if I've got the any Palace news or not. I was hoping to get something pre-deadline, but nothing yet. John says, favourite Prem player ever? That's a really good question. That's hard. I think I'd give it to Thierry Henry. I am an Arsenal fan, so a bit of bias there, but I think I'd give it to Henry. You could make the case for Bergkamp as well, but I think I'd give it to Henry. Thanks for the donation, Pavla 21k as well. Appreciate that. There was no message, but thank you for that. What we'll do a very quick captain poll, because I'm interested to see who you've got the armband on. I'll chuck this link in chat. So everyone go open this link and then let me know who you've got the armband on. Get your votes in. And we'll have a look at the live results as they come in to see who you guys are going for captaincy. I'll just spam it one more time in the chat. Get your votes in and we'll have a look on screen who you guys are going for captaincy. Amir says, I'm 14 points behind my mini league. Is it worth taking a -4 to bring in Mount, which my rival has, because I want to bench Richarlison? If you're chasing 14 points and they've got Mount already, then arguably it's not worth it at all, because you're taking a 4-point hit just to match them. You can't overtake them on those Mount points. So no, it's not worth it. I do think Mount could do very well, but it's not worth it because you're trying to overtake them. And that's just one less player that could overtake them. It's just one player that leaves you on par. So no, I would say it's not worth it. If you're chasing a mini league, you look at players they don't have rather than bringing players they do have. Pavla says, start Dewsbury Hall or Brownhill. I would say Dewsbury Hall. I mean, neither of them, I don't think you can expect much. Adam says he's triple captain in Pookie. Need a miracle today. You do love a bold Gameweek 38 pick, don't you, Adam? I remember last season, I think you went Aguero captain, didn't you? If I'm not mistaken. Right, the poll results. So Son is leading comfortably here, 58%. Kane is second of 18%. I must have missed a few players out because 6.6% went for other. Let me know in the chat who you went for if you went other. KDB snuck into third with about 6.5%. Vardy's there, Trent. 1.7% have gone for James. There were rumours that James is benched today, just something to be conscious of. I really hope it's not true, because I would be forced to start someone like... I think I'd have to start Cash, which would just be horrendous, basically, because he's not going to get anything against Man City, you would say, wouldn't you? Brian Donk says Cash, Richarlison and Weghorst for Robertson, Tony and Gelhardt for a -8. I don't think I'd want Gelhardt as part of a -8. No, I wouldn't do it. All three of them are problems, don't get me wrong, but but I think I would just make 2 moves there. So Richarlison to Tony, and then I would... It depends on the rest of your defence, but I'd probably get rid of Cash for whoever you can afford with the leftover change. I wouldn't take a -8 to get Gelhardt. I don't think that's worth it. Danny says app and website crashing. That's a good point. I still haven't made my transfers. Is the website down at the moment? No, it's alright for me. Seems okay for me. The problem is I want to wait until late in case there's any last minute leaks or news, but wow. Looks like there's no De Gea today either. Odds on FPL. He gets Man United news and trying to remember his name now. What's his bloody name? Played for Burnley. Literally cannot think of his name now. Heaton, is it? Is that Heaton? Maybe he starts, or is he trolling? The problem with odds on FPL, you never know if he's trolling or serious. But this season he's been tweeting a lot of Man United leaks. Yeah, it is Heaton. Amir says, does Foden start? We don't know. I imagine if Foden does start, you would say he's in Man City's full strength 11, so I would say he starts, but we haven't had any leaks as far as Man City are concerned. Just wondering, so Richarlison to Tony, continue to Mount. I just don't know if it's worth making a move in defence. Probably not. But if James doesn't play, or doesn't start, which is the rumour, then there is a temptation to make a move there as well. What do you guys think? James says, hey Focal, is Mane going to start? Yeah, I would say he almost certainly does start. What we do know is that Salah doesn't start, so you would say that it's very likely, based on that Mane does. Yeah, it looks like there's some issues on the app, but the website's okay for me at the moment. Bit of an awkward one, because you want to make your moves late, but we have seen the website crash before. Right before deadlines, which has burnt a lot of managers this season. There was that infamous game week where the website crashed. Zayab says, in light of rumours, bench James for Laporte. It's hard to say because it's a rumour, but you would say yes, based on the rumours, you would do it. But some assessments needed, isn't it, on the reliability of the source. It's Sam Martin, so I would say it seems quite reliable to me, and therefore I'd be inclined to start Laporte instead, because we have seen James come off the bench to make cameos in the past. I'll see Rocha just made the transfers on the desktop still working. Yeah, I think I'll wait until about 10-2 and then I'll make my transfers. That's my plan. A throwback to the 2015-16 season. Kane finished it with a hat-trick in a 7-1 win. That's all I ask from Kane today. That's all I ask. It's not too much to ask. A hat-trick from Kane against Norwich. Son to be largely uninvolved, and I'm a happy man. But I will be watching the games today at the FPL meetup. After this stream ends, I'm going to jump on this train. If you're in London today, feel free to come get involved. It's at St Christopher's Inn near London Bridge. There's about 70 FPL managers going. Lots of people from the FPL community. FPL Harry's going to be there. FPL Mate will be there. Fergie from Fantasy Football Hard, Richard Clark, lots of people going. FPL Nima, FPL Boona. Should be a good turnout, and I imagine there's going to be some great photos and videos coming out of that one. A lot of managers rejoicing, a lot of despair, head in hand moments. It's going to be an interesting one, but I'm looking forward to it. Might have to have a cheeky beer on the train there. Pre-drink. AC says, don't wait till 10-2. The deadline is half past. Good point. I mean, 10 minutes till the deadline. Danny says the website just crashed, be careful. Maybe I ought to make my moves sooner than that. We are 2:15 now, 15 minutes till the deadline. The thing is, now is around when we could start to get some further leaks. I'll just run everyone through what we understand so far. And these are just rumours. Leicester's full strength today, so we imagine Vardy starts, Maddison starts, Barnes definitely starts, Salah's benched, Martinez is benched for Aston Villa. Everton are expected to rotate, so that could mean Richarlison misses out, could mean no Pickford in goal. KDB starts, we understand. There's rumours that there's no James and Alonso. Sigurd says, would you triple captain Kane or Son? Depends if you're chasing or protecting rank. I think if I was happy with my rank, it would definitely be on Son. If I was chasing, it'd be on Kane. Maybe I'll just have a quick look. If I were to keep Coutinho and do Tony, how much do I have to spend on a defender? 1.8. That's annoyingly close to Robertson, isn't he? Oh, he's 7.3. The thing is, if James misses out, then is it not more optimal to start Coutinho and get rid of Cash instead? If there's any truth to the rumours that James doesn't start today. But then I would be totally banking on the rumours and then benching James in favour of Coutinho, which isn't ideal whatsoever. Paddy said it was a joke before about Heaton, so I think that was a troll about Heaton starting over De Gea. Decisions to make here. Just going to have another look for any last minute leaks or news or anything like that. I was really hoping that we'd get a Palace news. Oh, we've got the Palace news. Oh, wow. Alright, do you guys want the Palace lineup for today? Palace lineup today. Guaita in goal. Back four. Klein, Ward, Anderson, Mitchell. Midfield is Hughes, Gallagher, Raksay, I think his name is. Edouard up top, no Zaha. Sorry, Zaha up top, no Mateta. Edouard starts. Is it Raksay? Is that his name? Tweet that. So it's Guaita in goal, Klein, Ward, Anderson, Mitchell, Hughes, Gallagher, Raksay, Edouard and Zaha. That's the 11. Interesting. Right, sorry about that. I'm back. So, a recap of the news that we know heading into this deadline. Leicester full strength today. Just a rumour, but expected to be full strength. So, Vardy starts. Maddison, you imagine. Barnes definitely starts. Salah's benched. Martinez. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's one player missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Starting with 10. Yeah, there's one player missing there. I don't know if it's Mateta or someone else. We'll have to see. I'll keep an eye on that because I hope I don't tweet the wrong thing, but they've given 10 players there. We've got 12 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions coming. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm just checking a few different bits and bobs for any leaks and whatnot. And we might get pre-deadline, so apologies if I'm not as chatty before the deadline. But there's only 10 players in this League Palace lineup, so I'm not sure who's missing out. Maybe it's Eze that's missing. Could be Schlupp. Schlupp or Eze, I assume, is the one that's missing. Matthew says, do you think I'm mad going Mount over Son and Kane captain? Yeah, I think it's pretty bold. I would say Son and Kane are better captains over Mount, I'll be totally honest. It's bold. I do like Mount. He was rested last game, didn't play. Yeah, there's one player missing in that League Palace lineup, so it's probably Eze or maybe Schlupp. He's accidentally given 10 players, so one's missing. Greater, Klein, Ward, Anderson, Mitchell, Hughes, Gallagher, Raksay, Edouard, Zaha. So I've tweeted no Mateta, so I hope it's not Mateta. I think it's probably Eze or maybe Schlupp that's missing out. It's Zinchenko starting. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Cancelo and Walker in fullbacks, because Walker is back in training and I think they'll need him against Villa, you know, just to stop any counters or balls over the top and that sort of thing. Right, 9 minutes. I need to think about what moves I'm going to make. So this is my team as it stands. There are rumours that James misses out, so it's very tempting to just bench James and then move Richarlison on for Tony. I'm going to do that move first because that's definitely a move I'm going to make. So Richarlison to Tony. Let's lock that in before I can't. Richarlison to Tony, that's done. Right, let's have another look for any last minute leaks and news. Let's see. Yeah, that Palace lineup was missing one player. I'm not sure who the missing one was. Presumably it was Eze or Schlupp. Apologies, I'm less chatty for these last few minutes of the stream. I'm just trying to think about what last move I want to make in terms of whether to get rid of Cash or whether to get rid of Coutinho for Mount. Nketiah benched. Where have you heard that from? Right, what's my last move going to be? I need help from chat. What are we going to do here? I could trust the rumours that James doesn't start, and then I could make a move, cash to a 7.1 mil defender, and then start him over cash. James bench confirmed. Is it confirmed? Let's go to the leaks list and see if we got anything coming through in these last few minutes. Might go down to the wire. Jesus and Foden starts. Again, not 100% sure. Cancelo and Laporte start. Yeah, I mean, with these leaks, you have to take them with a pinch of salt. But just to run you through what we understand so far, is Leicester full strength. Vardy, Maddison, Barnes expected to start. Salah benched. Martinez benched for Villa. Everton rotation expected. Could be Richarlison and maybe Pickford that misses out. Cancelo and Laporte reportedly start. KDB reportedly starts. There's a rumour that there's no James or Alonso, but I have to take that one with a pinch of salt. So I'm thinking about keeping Coutinho. I could do Coutinho to Mount, or I could take a -8. Six minutes till the deadline. What a stressful end to the deadline stream, trying to work out what to do based on these rumours. It's my worst nightmare when you get last minute news and you have to decide whether to act on it or how to change your plan. Because normally, I don't know about you guys, but I'll spend a lot of time working out moves and whatnot, and then last minute, you don't want to make a last minute decision because it can often be the wrong one unless news comes to light. Ryan says Kane, Mane captain, chasing 6 points. Kane definitely. Yeah, Kane. Oh, let's talk FPL. What's Andy done for us this time? Hopefully he's sorted us right out with some fresh leaks. Let's talk FPL says James and Alonso. James starts, Alonso bench. Yeah, I'm going to wait until last minute, which is not a good idea, but this is not my locked in squad. My last planned move is I'm going to do Coutinho to Mount. Mount. So that'll be my second move. It'll be a -4, which is not ideal, but that's what I'm planning to do. Right, so a recap of the rumours, and these are just rumours, take these with a pinch of salt. Leicester expected to be full strength, so Vardy starts, Maddison presumably starts, Barnes definitely starts, Salah benched, no Martinez in goal for Aston Villa. Everton rotation expected, so that could be Pickford in goal, Richarlison might miss out. KDB starts, reportedly. James, according to Andy, let's talk FPL, James starts, Alonso doesn't. Cancelo and Laporte reportedly start. 3 minutes till the deadline. Are we feeling the nerves yet? What a stressful end to the deadline stream. We'll keep refreshing in case of any last minute news and whatnot. Yeah, and the Palace leak that I've got is that Zaha starts, Edouard starts, Gallagher starts. They only gave 10 players with their league lineup, but there was no Mateta in the starting 11. 3 minutes till the deadline. My captain is Kane. I've decided I'm going to just go for a differential captain to finish the season. I'm 11 points outside the top 10k, so I may as well have a bit of fun in the last game week and just take a punt. Diaz starts for Liverpool. Alright, I'm going to lock in this mount move. Continue to mount, confirm transfers, -4. That is my final team for the season. 2 minutes till the deadline, everyone. Right, one last time we'll run through what we understand. Leicester expected to be full strength, so Vardy's expected to start, Maddison expected to start, Barnes starts definitely, Salah's benched, Martinez benched for Aston Villa, reportedly. Everton rotation expected, so that could mean Richarlison misses out, Pickford could miss out. KDB reportedly starts, as does Diaz for Liverpool. James reportedly, just rumours, starts for Chelsea. Alonso reportedly doesn't. Cancelo and Laporte start. That is everything that we understand, to my knowledge. Zaha expected to start for Crystal Palace. Mateta does not. And that is everything that I know. And we're a minute away till the deadline. Thank you so much, everyone that's tuned into the stream so far. What an absolute roller coaster end to the season. What a roller coaster season it's been overall, period. Thank you so much for tuning into my streams, watching my videos. There it is. The game is updating. I should have taken a screenshot first. That was stupid. Why did I do that? Well, there it is. Done. That's the deadline. Locked. We made it. That is the final game week of the season. Locked in. There's nothing more we can do. Yeah, I'm going to go straight to an FPL meetup to watch all the games today. So that's going to be a good laugh. I'm looking forward to that. I really appreciate everyone tuning into the streams. I'm not going to be able to stick around for the lineups, sadly. The website is down, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support this season. It's been an incredible season. I only started making content this season and I never thought people would care about content I made or what I had to say. 11 years playing the game, but first year making content. So thank you for the support, and lots planned for over the summer. So before you go, please do like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We'll try and find someone's stream to raid. Who should we raid? I think Total Tactics. It's been a while since we've said hello to Fran, so I think we can go over and raid Fran's stream. He's a really, really cool guy. Alvin Block says, "Hi Focal, where do you get your music from?" Harris Heller on Spotify. So we're going to head over to Total Tactics FPL. He really knows his stuff, so go over and say hello. Tell him Focal sent you. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, no, he's just finished his stream. No, we're not. We're not going there. Where should we go? FPL. Should we go to the FPL Juice? I think they're doing a studio stream. Yes, FPL Juice. This is it. Everyone go over to FPL Juice. Tell them Focal sent you. And again, thank you so much, everyone. I will be on the Discord throughout the game week, so link in the description if you want to go join that. Thank you so much, everyone, for everything. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you throughout the pre-season for further content. But for now, Focal out.